Hi everyone, David here from daviddumaisaudio.com, and in this video I'll be going over my favorite and the best free plugins that I use to create sound design when I'm working on video games and sound effects. So let's jump into my project here and we'll get started. All right, so the first thing that I want to start by saying is that the best free plugins that you have are the ones that already come with whatever DAW you own. So whatever software you're using, it usually comes with some sort of suite of plugins that it comes with that comes with the software, and those are great to start with. So if I'm looking here inside of Steinberg, so I'm in Nuendo here, but even in Cubase, there's a lot of great plugins. So if you look into this folder here, you have panning, chopping, chorus, flanger, metalizer, phaser. There's so many plugins in here that I like to use, that I use all the time. Like even in my pitch shift, I use the Octaver quite a lot, pitch driver a lot, and the voice designer a lot in my work. So anyways, so my point is just look with whatever software you have, whatever you have that you're using. Usually it comes with a suite of plugins, and start with those because those are always great to start with. But let's jump into other ones that I use, that I like to use as part of my work. And the one that I probably use the most, and this is just for my workflow and my preference here, and that is a game plugin. So this is by Blue Cat Audio, or I think it's Blue Cat Audio. Anyways, the company name is Blue Cat, and it's just a game plugin. So they actually have a few plugins here that I don't normally use, but they have like a game plugin. So they have a mono one, they have a stereo one. I just use this one here, and all it does is it controls the volume of the sound, so the gain. So if I bring it all the way down, now it's at negative 28 dB, and I can bring it all the way up to 11. And the reason why I do this and how I use this is, one is to, if I ever need to modulate it over time, like I can actually just record and write like the gain automation, and I can write that in and then it's going to record it. The other reason is because whenever I have my mixer, so if I open up my mixer here, let's go into my mixer here. I always like to have my faders that you can see here. I like to have them all set to 0. So that I know that I haven't touched them. And the reason for this is because it's happened so many times where I'm just working and I might scroll with my wheel on my mouse like this and not realize that I changed the volume, and then it kind of messes up my mix, messes up my sounds. And then I'm like, what the heck did I just do? I don't even know. And then I have a hard time going back and figure out what I did. So instead of like having to worry about that and just like making some weird mistake like this, what I started to do is I keep my faders all at 0, and then I'll just put in a plugin, a gain plugin, and then to balance out the sounds whenever I'm mixing my sounds. So that's what I do. That's just the way I like to work. And then, so that's how I use this quite a lot. All right, so let's jump into my next one. The rest of these are things I don't use. Well, they're pretty specific. They have specific use cases. So for this one here, it's by Izotope. It's vinyl, and you're basically emulating a vinyl recording. So as if the sound was playing on a vinyl recording. So here you can choose like the year of the vinyl, so it gets more and more like, this is more like a low pass or something like that. Anyways, you get that kind of effect. But what's great about this one is if you wanted to use it for sound design, like you could have keep it at like a modern vinyl, so it still sounds very similar. So if I bypass the original sound, and then what you can do is start to add noise to the file. So I can add mechanical noise, maybe some dust. Right, so you can kind of create this atmosphere. And what's cool about it too is like, I'm just thinking about this now. I could probably use this as a texture for like fire or something, or like some sort of fire sound. Right, so anyways, just something you can do with this one. It's free from Izotope, which is a great company. I have a lot of their plugins, and they're just really great. So another thing I was going to show, let me see if I can find it here, is for Izotope, they actually have quite a few plugins. So vinyl is the one I'm showing here. Ozone Imager is another free one that they have, and then they also have a vocal doubler and a visual mixer that's all free from their website. So I'll put a link in the description for that. But those are all great plugins. And so if you can see, this is the Imager that's also from Izotope that I was just mentioning. So if I turn it off, this is the sound I have. And if I can turn it on, what you can do is play with the width. So I can make it completely mono if I bring it all the way down. and then I can make it like super wide just with this one plugin, which is really cool. And you can create some weird effects and layers with that. So really useful for width and yeah, creating width in your sounds. All right, the next sound that we'll be looking at here is from Native Instruments, and this is Guitar Rig. So this is Guitar Rig 5. They're at 6 now, and I think you get Guitar Rig 6 player for free. This is the full version, but just to give you an idea of kind of like what it is, basically for the free version, you just get less presets and less components. So components are just like plugins, basically. So these are all different kind of plugins. You have EQ plugins, modifiers, pitch plugins, and yeah, so you just get what it is. It's a multi-effect plugin. So you're basically stacking different effects on top of each other, and you're creating these weird and cool effects. So this is one preset here that I have. So let's listen to what this is. It might be really loud, so I'll turn this down. Right, and you can pick another one. So they're mostly used, or the idea behind this obviously was that it was going to be used as a guitar plugin or guitar effect for guitar amps, but they've really built it out to create a lot of different types of effects for different things. So you can do like vocal effects. They have special effects, presets, and yeah, a whole bunch of different stuff. So I like to use this kind of just to go through presets really fast, just to get ideas or just to get some weird sound going. And that's how I use this. So great little free plugin right there. All right, the next one is also a free plugin. It's by GlitchMachines. The same idea. This is a multi-effect unit, so it has a whole bunch of different effects. So you have a buffer here, a delay up here, and grains up here. And the way I like to do this is just to randomize it. And when you're randomizing it, yeah, you just get a whole bunch of different sounds. So let's have a listen. So hopefully you get an idea of what this plugin can do. It's really, I like to use it for futuristic sounds, yeah, sci-fi sounds, things like that, or just to get some cool textures. And again, I mostly use it just to randomize, because once you start playing with the patch bay, you can get some pretty, it can get, I guess, a bit more complex. But if you're just a beginner, you just want to jump right in and get some really cool sounds like that, you just press the question mark down here and you get a whole bunch of like weird stuff. I should mention, this is the Fracture XT, which is the paid version. The free version is just Fracture, but you should be able to get a similar layout and functionality out of it. So that is that one. All right, the next plugin that I like to use that is free, it's free, but you need the Reactor ensemble for it. So I don't know if you have to have the full Reactor version or the player version, but I wanted to include this in here because this is a Reactor ensemble. It's called Dron-E, and I use this to make soundscapes or to get some really cool textures. So I'll kind of just play it, and what it does basically, you import your own samples in here, or you can use the ones that come with the plugin. But yeah, you can import your own samples, your own sounds, and then you can create these cool pads, textures, and ambiances. So let's have a listen to what this might sound like. So what's really great about this one is that it's using the samples to create these ambiances, obviously, and you're using four layers. What you can do is you can like, so what is it here? And you can add more. So now I have the 4 layers. I can randomize the samples by clicking up here, the word sample. I can randomize the play speed, but just by clicking here. So it's really quick to like randomize whatever parameter just by clicking on the title of the parameter. So you have pitch, you can randomize the pitch, grains, like that. And then let's see what we can do here. I might even randomize the modulation here. Right, so it creates these kind of really large with big reverb sounds. Yeah, they're great for sci-fi ambiances and things like that. What's great about it though is that I can actually remove the ambience completely. So the diffuser right here, I can completely remove it, and then you get this kind of dry sound. So let's see what that might sound like. So it's kind of like granular synthesis, and yeah. So with that, you can create new textures or sounds or things like that that you can use in your sound design. So yeah, another great free plugin that you can use here. All right, so next plugin here is FreqEcho. This is by Valhalla DSP. And what it is basically a delay plugin. So if we put something here, let's use this sound. And it's just going to be a delay. So I'll put the mix at 50%. Oops. Here we go. Let's put the delay up. So it's doing a delay and it's also shifting. It's doing a frequency shift as well. So if we listen again. Right, so you can get these cool sounds either pitching the pitch up or down. And yeah, again, you can play with the delay, the feedback, and then the low cut and high cut just to cut off any frequency that you might not want. And again, this is a great little plugin. I like to use this for sci-fi sounds or even like retro sounds. If you're doing like 8-bit stuff, this thing works really great for that. So you can get some really cool sounds out of that. All right, the next free plugin that I have here is a frequency shifter, and this is by Melda Productions. And it's a little annoying that they have like this red bar down here just to say that it is free, but if you want to get rid of this, you have to activate it. But I mean, it's still free and you still get all the features out of it. So yeah, and it's just a frequency shifter, so you can shift the frequency. So if I just play the sound and then shift the frequency. Right, and then you can also change the width, obviously, your feedback, delay. So it's kind of similar to FreqEcho. But what I really like about it is that it just has a lot more options, and then you can also randomize the plugin, so it randomizes all the settings in here. Right, so it's just fun. You can kind of play around with that and see what you get, and if you get some cool results and stuff like that. So that's why I like these ones. And then all the Melda plugins, they all kind of work together in this. They have this similar layout, and they have these random buttons, and they all work together pretty well like that. So yeah, another great little free plugin there. And all right, last but not least, we have a pitch shifting plugin, which of course wouldn't be a sound design tutorial unless we had something about pitch shifting in here. So this is called PitchProof. I actually just got this today just to try it out because I already had some free pitch shifting plugins. But if you're in sound design, you don't have one. This one is pretty decent. So I'll put a link in the description for it, and this is what it sounds like. So let's hear the original sound here. And then, so what's great is you can have a wet and dry, so you can have a blend between the original and the wet sound. For the pitch, you just pitch it up or down, just in this drop down, and then you can pick whatever you want. So I'm at -10. Let's do -12. And then if you want to do fine tuning, you can do that here with the detune, which is great. I haven't played too much with the key here, so I don't know what these do. But I mean, it does your basic needs for pitch shifting, which is great. So yeah, nice little pitch shifting plugin. I will show you guys a few other things. So if you look on these websites here, so I already showed you guys Izotope. The other one I like to use is by Native Instruments. They have if you go to their website, you can click on the free here, and they just have a bunch of free stuff that you can use. So their free reactor player. And Blocks comes with Reactor, and it's a synth, if I'm not mistaken, and you can play around with that, make some sounds with that. Of course, you got Contact Player, which is very useful for instruments and stuff like that. What else do I use? Guitar Player, Supercharger. I don't normally use, but it's a compressor. If you want to use it for free, it's a good one. Good compressor here. And yeah, again, another reactor ensemble here that you can use. So a lot of free stuff here. That's great. What I like to do is you can come to Plugin Boutique, and on Plugin Boutique here, you can click on this free tab and you just have a bunch of free plugins that you can use. So a lot of these I haven't used, but if you look through them, just if you're missing anything, you can probably find something here that you need. It's like if you need an amp simulator, bit crusher, and they're all organized by category. So again, you have to remember these are all free plugins, but at least you get a basic idea of what it could be used for and what you can do with it. So, and I was even looking through this like this. I like GlitchMachines. I don't actually have this one, I don't think. So I'm probably going to download this one. And there's another one that I found earlier too that I was like, oh, that's interesting. Never heard of that one. I think it was this one, Enhancer by Waves Factory. So I just added like these to my list because I was like, oh, I like these companies. I'm gonna check them out and check their free stuff out. So yeah, and you'll see other stuff like Blue Cat, their plugins here. And anyways, like I said, granular effects, limiters, mastering, MIDI, arpeggiator, modulator, multi-effects. Anyways, you have pretty much everything you could ever want on here. You even have synths. So you have a whole bunch of stuff. And if you come to the free, if you're looking at just effects, you can look here. They even have instruments. You can check out free instruments like the synth presets, virtual instruments. Like they have a whole bunch of things on here, and it's basically everything that you might ever want or need. And this is where I go if I ever need like free stuff. So this is where I started whenever I got started, and then now now that I kind of know what I need and what I want, then I can go and look for paid stuff. But when I got started, I was looking at free stuff. This is where I came to check out my like these free plugins. So anyways, I think that's it for this video. I hope you guys like that. If it's helpful, let me know. If you guys have any other questions or any other free plugins that you guys like to use that I didn't mention in this video, please let us know. Like, leave it in the comments, leave a link. For all of these free plugins, I'll leave a link so that you guys can just easily click on the link and just access them in the description of this video. And I think that's it for this video. I hope you guys found that useful and valuable. And that's it for now. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.